Hello YouTube, and we're back with another video. Today, as promised, we are doing a queue. So what is a queue if you don't know? Basically it loops through songs, well, not loops, but it goes through songs, so you can add multiple songs to something at once, so you don't have to wait for this current song to end and then the next one to end. So, we're first going to start off by making a new class, also known as queue manager. Spell. So basically what the queue manager is going to do is it's going to go ahead and go through the queue for us so we don't have to do a whole bunch of things that is unnecessary. So firstly, you're going to want to get the event emitter from events. Now this comes with Node, so there's no need to install it. And before we forget, we're going to go to our interfaces and we're going to make another one. You're going to do export interface queue, and this is going to be the track, which is a string, and the user ID is a string. This is so we can get the requester, but instead of storing the whole user object, we're just going to store their ID. Now, that should be all the interfaces that we will need. So then you know what to do. You want to go ahead and import the queue interface from the interfaces. Now you'll definitely want a message and a user from Discord.js. Then you'll want to have the Acario client from Discord Acario. And then finally, we're going to import the REST manager. I'm pretty sure it's destruct, yep. Now that we've done that, we can make a class. So export default class queue extends event emitter. Now if you've never touched the event emitter, if you've never touched event emitter, basically that's how Discord.js, Discord Acario gets all their events done. So like when something is true, they'll do this.emit in the event and then with the parameters. And it's actually pretty useful. So now we're going to make a public queue, which is a queue, alright, but it's equal to a empty array. So we're also going to do private message, which is a message, unless you want to make this public so you can access it through like an evil command, then go ahead. So we're gonna do a public constructor and we're gonna public player, which we forgot to import player, but we can just do that. Then we'll need to do super, because again this is a derived class. Now we're going to do player on end, which is going to be async, and we don't need the whole thing, so we get the reason. So we just want to do async here, reason, and then we're going to do an arrow function, and there we go. So if make an array replaced or stopped dot includes reason return. This is so it doesn't actually go through if the song was replaced or it was stopped. Very useful when you're trying to do things. So now we're going to have to obviously go through the track. So if this.queue.length return this.emit finished. Now, if you're wondering what this does, is basically you can do this.on finished and you'll be able to run the events. Basically, this is where you can like clean stuff and all that good stuff. Then we're going to await player.play this.queue 0 track. Now, this is where we're going to do player.on start. Now you can just go ahead and do start, and then it's going to be async, and here we go. So this is why I have a message here. This.message.channel.send, and we'll make this, I guess, an embed. So you'll need a message embed. Take out user as well, as that's unneeded. This is where I'm going to store the user ID. New message embed. And you can set the color to whatever color you would like. I have my own color, which I will get right here. So the color would be this here. You can really have it to whatever you would like, but if you feel free to use that if you would like to. Then this is how you can design it however you want. I'm not restricting you, but you can do this however you desire. Now you're gonna do clean, and then do line breaks. And this is what we're gonna do. Await rest manager dot decode, and it's gonna be this dot q0 dot track. Now you see this error and you're like, this is not doing anything. Correct. We need to add this. We need to add a method to the rest manager. So public static async decode, which you'll just need the track, which is a string. And we're also going to modify this here. So the identifier we do not need right here. This is so we can load playlists, and we'll just add the identifiers just here. But it's good to still keep the interface we made. So with the identifier, it's just going to be the track. You'll see why we do that once we do loading playlists. Const nodes equals client.config, which you also need to import the client. This is an Acaria client. Const rest equals await fetch HTTP, and I don't know if I made this clear in the last video. It must be HTTP, not HTTPS. Make sure of that. And then you're gonna do node 0 address. Then you're just gonna do the port as well. And you're gonna do decode track. The track is going to equal the track. Now, obviously, just like the resolver, you're gonna do the headers. Authorization is nodes0.password. Now, here, this is where we'll have to make another interface. But as I found out, you don't actually need to write these interfaces for yourself. So if I exit out of here, and we go here, you can do npmi at kyflix dev/types if I'm correct.
This is Blazing Fast, a cheap and reliable hosting company. They provide many services to suit your needs, including web hosting, VPS hosting and dedicated servers. They offer a range of VPS servers to suit your bot's needs, starting with 512 MB of RAM up to 16 GB of RAM. You can easily set up your new VPS, and Blazing Fast offers a range of different operating systems. If you're looking for Windows, you will need a 1 GB VPS and above. Perhaps €5 is too much for you. No problem, you can use our code VOLTREX to knock 25% off the price, dropping it to only €3.75 a month. Blazing Fast stand out due to their incredible 980 gigabit per second firewall, preventing all kinds of online attacks. Do not expect your service to go offline anytime soon. And if you're in doubt, just look at all these happy customers.
If it's not, then I have something right here. Yeah, that's wrong. I was close. npmi at kyflix dev/lavaclient types. Now this gives you a whole bunch of things that you could have just wrote. But anyways, so here, we're gonna go back to the REST manager. Close the terminal, F11. Now, you'll want to import the load track response from @hyphelix.lavaclient types. And this will return a promise load track response. Now, of course, we're going to return await rest.json for that as load track response. Unused imports and close. Now it's gonna say it's just expecting 2 arguments. So we're gonna do this dot message, but since that's not an Acaria client, you'll need to change the type as Acaria client. This is where you can go ahead and do, which it should not be. Oh, I got the wrong type. It's track results. My bad. Track info. Not too major of a mistake. This, you just have to make the track info. So now we got that here outside of the await. Now we can do the title. I'm not sure. I already made it async, but I guess I'm not sure why that it likes to do that, but you can just remove the await here. Yes, you don't really need it. Now, obviously, we gotta format this because otherwise it looks horrible in the code style. So now we're gonna put brackets around this, and then await rest manager dot decode. And actually, just thought of this, const, and we're gonna do title URI equals await rest manager dot decode this dot cube 0 dot track, and this dot message dot client as Acaria client. So now all we have to do here is the title and the URI. That should be all we need for the start event. Now, I also like to do the identifier here too. So you can go ahead and set the thumbnail to this URL, https://ytimi.com/vi/hqdefault.jpg. Now basically this is just going to return the URL or the image for the currently playing track. Now, as well in this, we're going to add this on the finished, which we're also going to do async here too. So this is where we're going to do awaits this.player.destroy. Now we also want to be able to leave the voice channel because this will just destroy the player. It won't leave. So this.message.client as Acaria client .music.leave this.message.guild.id. Now you can return message that channel that send. The queue has concluded. I will be leaving now. So now that's about it, but we're going to add a add method. So public add, I'm going to do the track, which is a string, and the requester, or the user ID, which is a string. So if, well, we won't need that. Let's return this.queue.push. You see, IntelliSense will tell us that we're missing both track and user ID. So we can just do track and user ID. Since these two are already fine here, we don't need to do like that. That's redundant. We don't need to do that. Now, finally, we're going to do public async start. You can use start, track, whatever you would like. And then this is where the important part is. You need to have the message here. Why do you need to have the message? Because you need to set this.message equal to message. This is what you'll be doing when you actually load the track. If this.queue 0, you're going to shift the queue. Else you're just going to await this player.play this.queue 0.track. Now I also like to add a public clean method. So you just would have to do no parameters. This.queue equals an empty array. This dot current I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. This dot, and that's all we have to do actually. So that is the basic queue. That looks about right. Now we can actually implement this. So we'll need to go to the client, bot client, and this is where we're going to have to import the queue. So import queue manager. Probably just have to do this from, you could do managers / queue manager. Now here, what we actually do here, we're just going to do the player, and you also need to import the player from here. The player is class tut player extends player, and this is where you're just going to put the queue is equal to the new queue manager, which is also the queue manager, which, this. And by this, it's referencing to this right here. So that should be all we would have to do. Now we're going to modify our play command. And this is a very simple play command, but we have to add a whole bunch of things and delete a whole bunch of things. So up to about here, we can just comment out. So why are we commenting this out, you may ask? This is because we have to add a whole bunch of things. So now instead of the player, we'll do the const player equals await this.client.music.join, and the channel is the channel.id, and the guild is the message.guild.id, and again we're just going to have it defend. Now, why don't we just have what we had here? Well, I found out that if there's not a player, it would join, but if there is a player, it would just return the current player. So that saves a little bit of lines of code. Now we're gonna do const songs equals await rest manager that load tracks track. And this is where we're actually going to do something here. So if the track that includes HTTPS, and this is how we're going to be loading our playlists. You're going to the itinerary operator, which is going to be the track, or track, or the type, which we'll also need to add here. ID type, which is going to be YouTube, SoundCloud, and the default is YouTube. And then we'll need to import this here. Type is string. So type equals YouTube, which is going to be YT search, or SC search for SoundCloud search. And this is where it's just going to do track. And you need to provide a client, obviously. That client. There we go. That's the songs. Now, this is where we're going to be loading our tracks. So we'll make a switch case. Switch songs.load type. Open it up, and we're going to do a case no matches or case load failed. And then we'll break the case here. Then we'll return message.util.send. Nothing was found for your query. Now, you may be asking, why not just use an if statement? That would just be ugly. We want to make this as pretty as we possibly can and good to look at, so you don't get a headache every time you look at it. So case playlist loaded, and this is where we're going to load our playlist, obviously. If I did not mention, the load type has multiple load types, which we have defined in our interfaces. So right here, track loaded, playlist loaded, search result, no matches, and load failed. All of them are pretty self-explanatory here. So now we're going to have to do this. So for the playlist loaded, we're going to have to do songs, .tracks.map, and we'll just get the track from here, and then player.queue. Oh, we also need to add the same thing we did with this Cario, but we're going to declare the module of lavaclient. Make sure I'm spelling things right. Interface, which is going to be player, and the queue is going to be a queue manager. Queue.add track message.author.id. Let's see what's wrong here. So the expression is not callable. Okay. Let's look at what could be wrong here. Going to map that out. We'll just do a for each then. Because we don't really need to map them out because we're doing things for forage and it'd be better to use. So now we're gonna do message. Let's format this a little bit. Message.channel.send include playlist songs.tracks.length tracks songs.playlistinfo.name, which apparently we didn't define, which is what we have. Playlist info, name is string, track. So we'll just convert this to any, as we know that's actually a type here, but it will not show up. So now I'm going to do if player that is not playing, we're going to await player.queue.start message. Now we're going to do a case track loaded, which we're just going to add the track to the queue, nothing too special. Player.queue.add songs.tracks0.track and message.author.id. Message.channel.send in queue to track, and we'll just do songs.tracks0.info.title. Now this is the part where we can actually pick what song we would like to use. So case search result. Now we're gonna make a constant here. Const tracks equals songs.tracks.slice 0 to 5. Slice off the first 5 tracks. We'll also make another constant of message, which is await message.channel.send new message embed, and we'll just set the description tracks.map, which again is going to do this. Oh nope, which we're gonna have to map out the tracks, which we'll just do the track here. Which will need the index as well. So the track is already defined and the index is a number. So here is where I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and do we're gonna go ahead and do the number index plus 1. Since index starts at 0, we want to add 1 onto it. Then we're just going to add the track. So track the title. Which track that info, that title. Track that info, that URI. Then we're going to do message.channel.await messages. Then we'll make another function, which is also known as filter. That's filter equals a message, which is a message. Message to author the ID equals message to author the ID. Await messages, which will have the filter here, and the time will be 3E4 for 30 seconds. Error, which is time, and the max is 1. We only want 1 response. That then async collected const first equals collected that first, so we don't have to type that out each time. If first dot content, that's 2 lowercase, equals cancel turn message to channel. Let's send cancel the selection. So if this dot handler dot resolver type number, which then will supply the arguments, which is of message, and the first dot content, we're then going to return message dot channel dot send. A valid number would be nice. Then we're going to player dot queue dot add songs to tracks 0 dot track and message and first dot third D. And then we're finally going to add the student's track after sending a message. So message.util or channel.send include track, which we can honestly just take from right here. Put the same exact message. And then if player.playing awaits player.queue.start with the message. And then obviously want to do a .catch message.channel.send not times up. Cancel the selection. Now that should be all we would have to do for this here. So now we're going to compile everything and see if there's any errors, which there should not be. Now we also need to start lavaclient. So cd into lavaclient. Then we're going to run it as a sudo. And then we're going to do java jar lavaclient in a jar. And we're going to let that start. Then we're going to run node dot. Oh, right, let's see. Alright, we haven't changed that in the lavaclient. Yeah, because you know why I'm not. This needs to be changed to the port I had on. I changed the ports. You shouldn't have to. Simple fix should work. This is a mistake on my part. You just need to have it run on the correct port. I changed mine because we had to switch VPN. We're going to play non-copyright sounds. Should give us a selection. So we'll just do 2. It should start playing. And there it goes. That is the song playing. Thank you for watching this video. Hope it was helpful and useful. We'll see you next video.